welcome to Daytime Ottawa here on Rogers TV. Now, okay, don't adjust your television sets. A lot of people, I walked into the station today and they looked at me and like, what happened? Nothing happened. I got some micro needling done. I went to see my friend Shireen at Sublime Medi Spa, and she took care of me. Like, listen, in about 4 weeks' time, you're not going to recognize me. I'll look like I'm 25 years old again. That's what I'm telling you. So if you're wondering why my face is a little red, don't panic. I didn't go into the sun too much over the weekend or anything like that. Anyway, welcome to the show. Great to have you here. And great to have Daniela Croco here on the show, chef and host of Simply Cooking by Chef. Welcome.
Hi, Derek.
How you doing?
Wonderful,
You've done the micro needling thing too in the past,
it's wonderful.
Right? It was like it was almost like I felt like I was in a Star Trek episode or something. You know what I mean? Like all the different stuff that she's got in there. So she's got the micro needling pen, and then you go under this light thing for like a half an hour, and then the mask and all of this.
But like, you know, in a couple of weeks from now, like I was saying, your face is going to be like a baby.
Yeah, it's going to be like a baby.
And it's going to be so smooth, and you're age backwards. It helps you age backwards.
Yeah, I'll be like Benjamin Button. Right.
Sure.
That's what I call Arthur, our volunteer coordinator, Benjamin Button, because he looks like he's aging backwards. So maybe the same will happen to me.
I mean, that's basically what we all want, right? Like women, we're on TV, all that stuff. Like I want to age backwards.
Supposedly some of the skin's, you're telling me it's going to fall away. That's what Shireen told me.
Yeah, because it will like scab a little bit, because basically the micro needling like is literally a needle that has damaged your skin. So it creates these micro cuts basically, and then it basically is like making your skin heal itself by creating collagen, but then the healing is like what fills in those pores and stuff, right?
It's like 8 million new holes in my face.
That's
pretty much what happened. 8 million. So thank you, Shireen. I appreciate it. What are we making today?
I thought I'd get started, but
go ahead.
We're in the middle of like the super coldest time right now. It is like minus 20 with the wind chill, and we all love a nice warming dinner, but we also are really busy, and kids are in school doing activities, and I'm just busy working and I don't have time. So I thought, since we have 2 segments today and one pot meal, let's do a one pot meal.
I love the one pot meal idea.
So what I just put in the pot there is these pork sausages.
Okay.
So those ones are formed in patties, because my family and I, we make our own salami.
I love that idea.
Every year.
That's what you did over the weekend? You made salami?
A couple weeks ago, but I was checking on it over the weekend.
Okay.
So we buy a whole pig, we process it, we turn it into things like salami, pancetta, prosciutto, and then ground meat, and then I make a whole bunch of like sausage patties. Sometimes I eat these like a burger.
Oh yeah,
but sometimes when I'm in a pinch and I want a quick meal, it's just like seasoned ground pork.
Okay.
So I basically put in a pound of seasoned ground pork in here. At home, you could use ground chicken, ground turkey, ground beef, really whatever you have on hand, or you could, buy a pack of sausages and open them up. And use the meat from the inside of the sausages.
So you've spiced these up. I can tell right away. What have you got in here?
So in the Italian salami prosciutto making situation, everything is seasoned with just salt.
Okay.
And then the red stuff that you see, which is called salsiccia, is seasoned with an Italian paprika.
Oh, okay.
I say paprika because that's like the closest thing to it.
Gotcha.
But we call it something else, but it's basically like paprika. So I'm browning this here.
Okay.
And you would just brown your meat. I'm going to add half an onion.
Okay.
And
thanks to your husband, we found.
Yes. Right? I couldn't find some of the stuff that I had brought today because it was hiding.
Out you like that on live television.
It was hiding in there.
It was hiding.
Thank you, Wendell. He's probably watching.
Yeah, thanks, Wendell.
He's probably watching.
Because we had a moment of panic. The onion's not here. What are we going to do? There's no cheese. What's happening?
I thought that I would do like a quick meal. Like we're live for 15 minutes?
Yeah.
With the commercial break, and I thought, let's see if we can do the meal like live in 15 minutes.
You and I are professionals.
We've done this before.
I thought I was.
I think this might still be a tiny little bit frozen right in the middle, because I did take it out of the freezer this morning and leave it in the car. But it'll cook up.
We've got things to talk about.
Yeah, so that's going to brown with the onion.
Okay.
And then I'm going to add a can of crushed tomato.
Okay.
And Derek so nicely got me a mug of water.
Listen, we're a team here.
We're a team.
I always say that.
And we're going to let that simmer, and then I'm going to add this really cool new product that I love so much.
What is this?
It's an orzo pasta.
Okay.
But it's made with lentils.
Really?
So it's gluten-free, technically.
Right.
And it's really high protein.
Nice.
And so I thought a really small pasta would cook quickly right in the sauce.
Right.
I have some things here, and I thought I would showcase them.
Yeah.
So sometimes I get an overabundance of garlic, or a client gifts me
That's
like
a
a
good
box
problem.
of garlic.
Yeah.
And what I love to do is make garlic confit.
That's a great idea.
So I peel all the garlic, and
Yeah.
I put it in a pot. I cover it with oil,
Okay.
and I let it simmer on low for like 45 minutes to an hour until the garlic gets really like mushy,
Nice and mushy. Look at that.
And then I have the confit garlic here, and then I pour out the oil, and I have the garlic flavored olive oil,
Smart.
which I like to use for cooking, for salad
Yeah,
dressings,
absolutely.
whatever. The pork has quite a bit of fat in it, so you wouldn't necessarily need to add oil
Right,
if you are using pork at home. But if you're using something more lean, like a ground chicken or a ground veal, or extra lean ground beef, you
Yeah.
certainly want to add the oil. I just
Okay.
wanted to add the garlic flavor.
Yes.
So, of course, you know.
It smells fantastic, by the way. Thank goodness.
And I also just thought that, like, this is a great quick meal. Like,
Right.
after the break, we're gonna make a little quick Italian salad with some tomato and cucumber and onion and the
Okay.
flavored oil. And I've got some microgreens and some basil going on.
Nice.
And yeah, it's just like a nice, quick, like, get dinner on the table kind of thing.
Yeah.
So what I was gonna say is, here I have a jar of my Nona's tomato sauce. So if
That's
you don't,
magical
yeah,
stuff
I'm not.
right
I'm
there.
not going to use it, but I thought I would show it in the way that you can use a purchased or a pre-made tomato sauce here.
Right.
So I've got the garlic oil, the onion,
Yeah.
and the crushed tomato with the water because I'm kind of making a sauce in the pot.
Gotcha.
But if you're like me at home and you have like pre-made sauce on hand, or you just go to the store and you buy a really great one is Rouse.
Okay.
It has like
Yeah,
a real
yeah.
authentic
I know
Italian
exactly the
flavor. There's a
brand,
Quebec
yeah.
brand called Stefano.
Okay.
And they're really the only two brands that I would ever,
Outside of Nono's.
Yeah,
Nono's,
exactly.
Those are the two brands you'd go for.
Exactly. So in
Okay.
that case, if you were using a pre-made sauce, you wouldn't need to chop the onion.
Okay.
And you
yeah,
wouldn't need
right.
to add
It
in
would have all that
the
in it,
garlic
right.
flavor because it would already be in there,
Gotcha.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. It's nice and broken up.
Yeah, it's looking nice
And it's
now.
looking really nice. You'll notice that the grind on that meat is quite thick.
Yeah, I did notice that,
And that's
actually.
because for the salamis and stuff, we want it to be thicker so that when you're slicing through, you can see the different pieces of fat
Yeah.
throughout it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I know exactly what you're
Sometimes
talking
with
about.
like a Genoa salami, when you slice like the one from the deli counter,
Yeah.
it's got like the fat evenly distributed
Yeah,
in
it's
tiny
all
little
sprinkled
dots.
through. Yeah.
But like a real Italian cured salsiccia or something is more, meat, and then you've got that chunk of white,
I
and
gotta
then
learn
that
how
chunk
to
of
do
white,
this
and that
from
chunk
you.
of white.
I really do.
Okay.
So when you guys you buy a whole pig and then somebody, I imagine you get it butchered. No, you butcher it yourselves.
Yeah, so the last so sometimes like when my dad, he'll find really affordable like pork loin and shoulder like on sale at like Metro
Okay.
and he will certainly buy that.
Right.
But for the last few years, we've been driving out to Chesterville to the abattoir and getting a whole pig right from where they kill it.
Okay.
And they split it for me in half and they take the head off, of course.
Yeah.
And then we put it in the back of the pickup truck and
Off you
we
go
all go to
make a whole
Kingston
bunch
and
of. Hold this
Yeah.
thought. I'm excited about this. Listen, we'll be back with more. Daniela's back for another segment, and we'll finish preparing this, and we'll tell you more about this amazing pig. This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Unbelievable. You just never see that. What a shot.
The OHL on Rogers TV.
I'm Wendell Clark with a word about winning. We all know it takes a team effort in any sport and with any challenge. You can be a part of the winning team that shuts out impaired driving. Whether you're out on the town or just hanging out with friends, drink responsibly. Always have a plan for a safe ride home for yourself, your family, and your friends. You'll be helping to shut out impaired driving.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober. and roasted the most perfectly golden brown marshmallow you'd ever seen. And the crowd went wild!
Rogers TV invites you to let your imagination roam as we present you with a new season of Ottawa Storytellers. Each week, we'll bring you a collection of original and creative stories presented for children of all ages. Join us for the new season of Ottawa Storytellers right here on Rogers TV.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. Back with Daniela Croco, host and chef of Simply Cooking by Chef, which, by the way, tonight at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
You can tune in.
Yeah.
There's another episode Thursday as well, 9:30 a.m. and 8:30 p.m. We are back. Let's explain to everybody. So during the break, we added a couple of other ingredients.
We added that can of tomato to the meat. Then we added that cup of water to the meat. Not really measured. It's okay. And then I added that bag of the lentil-based orzo pasta.
Oh, yes, okay.
So
Okay.
if you weren't doing a one-pot meal, you could certainly do any kind of pasta you want on the side in another
Right.
pot, so you could pour your sauce over top of it. If you had like the smaller pastas, like the little mini shells or little macaroni, that would work
That would
really
work
well in
well,
here
too.
too. And then I did something else that I always do, is I put in
I
the
love
rind
this idea.
of the parm. So I put in a big piece in there.
Explain that. So for people that aren't familiar, because we've used this quite often,
Yeah.
those rinds that you get off your Parmesan cheese, don't throw it out. You
No.
use it to cream up.
Yeah, because
on things,
it
right?
is the cheese, right? So Parmesan has been aged and it sits out and gets dry. So this is actually the cheese that's just been dried on the outside.
It's just people don't like the texture because it's a little chewy.
It's very hard and chewy. So some people, like my Nona, will save these and put this in a food processor.
Okay.
And then you make
that's
your
a good
own like
idea.
grated cheese out of it.
Yeah.
But I really like to do this. And if your soup doesn't have meat in it, like when I'm doing a non-meat soup, that's when I'll use like the rind from the pancetta, which is like the pork belly or like the pork belly skin. So you can do that too. I'm just throwing together what I like to call like my favorite go-to fast salad.
Okay.
And it's very Italian. So
All
I've chopped some onion,
Okay.
I've got some cucumber, I've got some cherry tomatoes, and I just dress it really simply with olive oil and salt and pepper. Today we have this lovely flavored olive oil, so it's going to be like
you've got your garlic olive oil.
flavored olive oil.
Now, when you buy olive oil for yourself, do you buy sort of specialty olive oils, or like does it matter to you?
If you come to my house, there's like 9 different bottles of olive oil, all different all different levels.
Yeah.
You know, all food has different levels of quality. Right. So when I'm like wanting to use olive oil to make like a mayonnaise or something where I'm using a lot of it that's going to be eaten raw, I want to make sure that I'm using like an extra virgin olive oil.
Right.
I really like this company, Maison Orphée. It's a Canadian company.
Yeah.
Obviously, olive oil is not Canadian. It's a blend from other places. And then I have like the top level olive oil that's like from the region where my family is from, you know, and it's like $47 for a bottle that's like really
We just
small.
bought something Aurelius down the road here in West Wellington Village. We just went to buy, and again, I mean, it's high-end olive oil, but it's if you, like I would never cook with it.
No.
My friend Christian
I like put
Pritchard,
it on my skin and like drink like tablespoons of it and stuff
so
like that.
So you know the latest thing we're doing, my friend Christian Pritchard that comes on the show every couple of months, he's with the Aurora Imports, right? That bring a lot of Italian products into the city. He introduced us to vanilla ice cream. Follow me here. Okay, lemon rind, little lemon juice, salt, and high-end olive oil.
Ooh.
I am telling you. You've got to try this.
Absolutely.
It's a
Well,
game
I mean,
changer.
the Bucks, you know, the Bucks place has a new olive oil coffee.
Really?
You can go and get this new olive oil coffee. But I
Okay.
will say to everybody,
Okay.
here's a way to tell if your olive oil is real. So olive oil happens to be one of the most fraudulent foods
that's what he said.
out there, okay? Along with like wild-caught salmon and rainbow trout and stuff, because usually the fish that it says it is sometimes is not. We're really lucky here in Canada because we have laws that really help prevent this from
Right.
happening, but it still happens a little bit.
Yeah.
In America, olive oil is like a scam. But
Really,
here in Canada, we have some great relationships with, you know, Italian and Greek and
Yeah.
Spanish and Tunisian providers, so we have a better...
We know we're getting the real deal.
Yeah, but
right?
a way to tell
Okay.
is when you get that ball of olive oil to put it in the fridge overnight.
Okay.
And real olive oil will get cloudy and solidify a little bit at cold temperature.
Right, yes.
So when you put your ball of olive oil in the fridge and it's still liquid the next day, you know it's been blended with something else.
So that's what they're doing. They're basically cutting it.
Yes, like
Right.
with a pumice oil or canola or a vegetable
Sneaky.
or something like that. And in America, that
Do they have to put that on the label?
no, not in the
See,
U.S.
yeah, I don't understand that.
The fraud stuff
Yeah.
is exactly that. It's fraud. They're doing it at the source.
Right,
So they're
right.
lying.
Yeah.
So there wouldn't be anything on the label because they're
You
literally
literally
lying.
have to test it, right, in a
Yes,
lab, I
yes.
guess, kind of
or,
thing.
again, in the fridge. Because
Right,
the
or
thing
in the
is,
fridge, yeah.
the only oils that solidify like that are like coconut oil, but you would taste the coconut oil.
Yes, of
right?
course, yeah.
So if
yeah.
you're making sure
Gotcha.
that it's olive oil, like if it doesn't solidify, then you're guaranteed that there's some other non-high quality oil in
Right.
there, like a canola or a
It
vegetable.
smells so good. Okay, so what are you adding here?
Okay, so in
You got a
here
little
I
basil
just
in there?
put the garlic oil.
Okay.
I put a little bit of basil that I had. I love balsamic reduction.
Me too.
So
Me
I'll
too.
put a little bit of balsamic reduction in
I
there.
just got some at La Bottega.
Yeah, I bought this at La Bottega.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Sometimes I make it myself, depending, you know.
Because balsamic's an interesting one too, right? This is a glaze, so this isn't true balsamic,
no.
right? This is like a sweeter. You can
Yes.
put it on ice cream, you can put it on a salad,
Yes.
that sort of thing.
Oh,
but then you can spend like $180 on
And
a
buy
balsamic.
a very like 28-year-old
Yeah,
aged balsamic,
yeah.
you wouldn't want to reduce that, and you would
No.
want to eat that on ice cream.
Exactly.
In season
Not
2
that I could afford it. I've
No,
never
no.
purchased that. I don't have that kind of money. Are you kidding me?
Well, I mean, it's a nice little.
$180? Are you? Come on.
It's like it's like a wedding gift or something
Okay,
like that
well,
that
that's
you would
fair.
you would get some.
Yeah, you're
someone.
welcome to gift that to me. Any
So this
viewers at home.
beautiful, my quick,
Look at
delicious
that.
salad. I love to eat that
Beautiful.
just as is. You could add
Yep.
a can of chickpeas to that. You could add a diced chicken breast to that to make it higher protein. But I mean, this is a perfect meal here.
I agree.
And then I have these beautiful microgreens because it's just fancy. And we'll do.
It's just fancy.
It's just
Get
do
fancy.
some red little chili flakes here,
Okay.
and that's basically it.
This is
We're
perfect.
just now
And this
waiting.
Is, this is basically what am I doing?
Oh no!
Coming apart
Oh,
here,
no.
folks. Not to worry. Just a wire. There we go.
So what's really cool
That.
about this show is that I always come on and like sometimes the food doesn't get finished and like we're in a rush or whatever. But even though you guys don't see it, Derek always gets to taste the food because I
true.
always send it home with
You're
him in a little
always
container and
very
stuff like
kind.
that. So
I appreciate
what
that.
we're looking for is for this to reduce down a little bit more. So
Okay.
as you'll see, it's still a little bit soupy and the pasta is still al
We're not
dente.
there yet.
We're not there yet. So
Daniela Croco, ladies and gentlemen, Simply Cooking by Chef. You can tune in tonight at 8 o'clock, Thursday at 9:30 a.m. and 8:30 p.m. We'll be back with more right after this.
Long way from Nashville, and mama, I tell you that. Performed from Montreal to Boston to Los Angeles. But Toronto, that's my chosen home. Sure, when I'm walking down Yonge Street, I see some funny people who have the nerve to point the finger at me. Grin and smile and whisper. My song was #2 on local radio. Sold 10,000 in Toronto alone. Turned down Ed Sullivan because they asked me to remove my makeup. Wouldn't do American Bandstand because of their segregation policies. I was just being me, Never tried to explain myself to anyone. And besides, none of that to worry, Jackie, because I know I look good. Got a new way of loving, baby. Thought I want to teach it to you.
Jackie Shane was a pioneer transgender soul singer, a central figure in the Toronto R&B scene. She helped shape what we know as the Toronto sound.
Join us for the new season of Ottawa Storytellers, right here on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. Well, I wish they had a program like this when I was going through school. It's an amazing entrepreneurship program for young people at the Ottawa Carleton District School Board. Here to tell us more about it, I'm joined by Nada Bernabo.
Yes, close enough.
Bernabo. See? Well, I just asked her. And Kim Lassell, welcome to you both. Great to have you here. Nada, by the way, is an experiential learning consultant. Kim is a student success coordinator. Let's talk about your roles, first of all. I'll start with you. Tell me a little bit about your role.
Well, I'm fairly new to the Ottawa Catholic School Board.
Okay.
I've been at the board for about 2.5 years. And as the experiential learning consultant, I basically get to support all the fun stuff that goes on in the school board. So, you know, supporting teachers with deep learning initiatives in the classroom, bringing in lots of learning partners, and just making the experience more authentic for the students.
That's a fun job.
It's very fun.
I thought my job was good. That sounds like a lot of fun. Kim, tell me about your role.
Okay, well, I support K to 6, so kindergarten to grade 6 in the Ottawa Catholic School Board, and I get to work with Netta, so that makes my job really fun as well. And one of the programs that I support is the entrepreneurial program, among other responsibilities I have in my role, but it's definitely one of the most exciting parts of
Well, yeah, let's talk about that program. So give me an overview. What's that program all about?
Okay, so basically, in a nutshell, there's so many different layers and components, but classroom teachers and their students are paired with a business mentor in the community, and they start by researching social issues. So they might start with UN Sustainable Goals and really talk about things that impact the world and the ways that they can make change. And out of that, they develop a social enterprise. So often it's a business, or they provide services or awareness campaigns about social issues, and they work together and they pair with charity partners as well.
Yeah, so you've brought some examples of these are kids that have produced these products, and they've created their own businesses. That's right?
That is right.
Okay.
So first over here.
This one here?
Yes, we have a Pius SB Espresso Cafe. It's a group of inclusion students at St. Pius with their teacher, Jennifer Curry.
Okay.
And they have their own cafe in school. We couldn't bring all the students with us today, and we couldn't bring their cafe with us, but they're also raising money through selling some chocolates.
Oh, fantastic.
So these chocolates are for you today. We're going to leave them with you.
Oh, nice.
And that's from the Pius kids.
Wow, that is, what a great idea. And then we have what here?
So at St. Joseph's in Barrhaven, Carol Mock, one of our fabulous teachers, her and her students made their own clothing line, and it's called Rise Above Poverty. So this is their logo right here.
Yeah.
And then all of the proceeds went to the Ottawa Mission.
Amazing.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
Well, this one obviously jumped out to me right off the bat when you were setting up. Tell me a little bit about these glasses here.
So we partnered with Enactus, and they are an entrepreneurship group from Ottawa University.
Okay.
And they kindly donated these glasses to us to sell. So our Sacred Heart students in Tristan Nguyen's class in Stittsville are going to be marketing these beautiful sunglasses.
They are really nice.
And some of these are just the blue light blocker glasses.
Right.
They come in many different colors and styles. So their marketing class is going to be selling these, and it's all part of their business called Hope.
Okay,
Yeah,
excellent.
Sacred
Kim,
Heart Home.
you've brought something that's pretty special here
Right.
as well. Tell me about this piece in front of us here.
So this is a class from Holy Redeemer School
Okay.
in Canada, and Maria Babineau and her grade 4-5 class are part of the Social Entrepreneur Program, and they really wanted to support children who are in hospital, and they chose Ronald McDonald House as their charity, so they partnered with them. And one of the things that they've done is created gaming carts. So this is one of 3. They raised seed money and funds through selling hot chocolate, and they have actually delivered one already to the hospital and to Ronald McDonald House, and they have 2 more that will be going there.
Nice.
And they also have lots of little goodies on the cart. They have stuffies. Some of the kids have made, along with grandparents, have made little stuffies for the
And they donated the
children.
games too, right?
They've
that come with
donated
it.
the
I
games
mean,
as
that's
well.
just awesome.
It's amazing.
So, Nita, how do you how do you connect then with community members and in that business side of things?
So we have volunteer business mentors that volunteer their time to come into the classroom, and they support our students with, helping them with their logo, with their slogan, with all the financial literacy. We also get free access to Shopify. So all of these stores have their own Shopify sites, so we can sell online. And the Shopify site is a great platform for them to post their pictures, post videos, and share their story with the community. So that has been very successful for us so far.
And then Kim, the students themselves, they select the charity. How do they figure out what charity they'd like to support?
At the beginning, it's really messy because everybody has ideas, and they try to, so they research a lot of different social issues. Sometimes they'll do a pitch for different groups or different ideas of what they want to support, and sometimes they support a few different charities and social issues.
And my understanding is there's been a lot of growth over the years of this program. Sort of tell me where you started and where we find ourselves today with the program.
Yeah, so this program has been going on for years, but in the past 2 years, we've seen the numbers double.
Okay.
And we've just seen that the students really enjoy the real-life learning, the deep learning experience. Our board motto is inspired educators, inspiring students, and that's what we see happening here is the teachers are willing to embrace these deep learning experiences and pairing with business mentors and bringing in the learning partners and bringing in guest speakers to really get the kids excited about learning, and then the kids take over. It's all their idea. They're in the driver's seat, which can sometimes be a little scary for teachers. I was a teacher for 20 years, and I like to be the one in the driver's seat sometimes, but they step back and the kids take over, and the teachers and board people like ourselves come in and we help out.
And Kim, we brought up that website. That website shows all of the participating schools and businesses.
Yes, and all the links to their Shopify sites as well are on there, and they use a Shopify site to also tell their story, so you'll see that.
Fantastic. What a great program. Thank you so much for reaching out. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank
we
you.
do have something for you.
Oh, you have something for moi.
Yes,
okay.
you get to be part of the SEP community. So in here we have our T-shirt with our logo and our mug. So this is for you, and thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. We'll be back.
Summer days, summer nights, lots of things to do, places to go, and people to see. If you're having a few drinks, be sure to plan ahead and get home safely. We don't want to pick you up. Drinking drivers risk injuries to themselves and others and take chances with their license, their jobs, and their future. Remember what's at stake and choose your ride, whether you're the driver, the passenger, or the party host. Thanks for supporting sober driving. I hope we never meet.
Visit arrivealive.org to find out more.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Watch Podium exclusively on Rogers TV.
Hello, I'm Liz Dowdsville, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. In 2008, carbon monoxide, a deadly invisible gas, killed an entire family in our province. That tragedy led to a new law requiring homes with potential CO sources to have alarms. John Gignac's family members passed away that day, and he shares his story to save others.
Please make sure you have working CO alarms in your home. Protect your family today.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
Learn all about the creation of the National Capital Region on The History of Ottawa, according to Phil Jenkins, on Rogers TV.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Well, I've been on, as I said off the top of the show, on my own adventures, doing things I've never done before, like getting some micro needling done on my face. Well, my next guests, they come each and every month to tell me about what their latest adventures are. I'm joined by comedian Jen Hayward and adventurer extraordinaire, Sarah Stewart. How are you, Sarah?
Good.
How are you, Jen?
I'm always great, man.
So this one, this is an interesting one. I'm going to start with you this time around, Sarah, because you find yourself suddenly running a new business. Am I right?
Yes. So
Okay.
we're at Strategy Games on Bank right now, which is part of the Chess and Math Association.
Okay.
And it came up when that started that Jen had gone her whole entire life never learning to play chess. So this month's adventure was more of an intellectual adventure.
Okay.
And we taught Jen how to play chess for the first time.
And Jen, you and I were talking before the show, and this
Yes.
isn't something you and I grew up playing because we kind of felt it wasn't our thing, right? It was kind of an intellectual, intimidating game. How did you find it now that you've been introduced to the game?
Well, now that I've been introduced, I mean, first of all, people would say you have to be smart to play it, and I think it actually helps make you smart. So I realized that because I think my entire life has been a chess game. Now that I understand what chess means, and I am the queen. But I enjoyed it. I find that it's similar to some other games. So I think a lot of games that I already play have sort of built on it. But there is, in the '80s, it was the John Hughes ages when we were growing up, and so if you played chess, you're either like a super smart person or a super nerdy person, maybe both, and I was neither. So
you and me both, Jen.
I could barely play checkers. Like I was not the brightest duck. As an adult, though, I found it fascinating. But I mean, let's also backtrack a little bit. She didn't just teach me alone. Her 4-year-old child helped teach me, and I find he teaches me a lot in life, but they're more philosophical.
Right.
But this was like, Auntie, do you really want your rook to go there? And I said to him, what's a rook? And because I was like, she introduced me to all the pieces, and then she never said rook once. And I was like, oh, the horsey thing, got it, or whatever. No, the castle. All right. So I still have a lot to learn. And I almost won until I realized she was just letting me strategize, and just show me things. But really, I watched The Queen's Gambit, so I thought that's all I ever needed to know about chess. But it didn't actually make me want to play. But this made me say, you know what, okay, I don't think I'm going to be an enthusiast, but I enjoyed it, and I can see why people really like it. It may not be 100% for me all the time, but I will tell you, it was indoors, and I really enjoyed that. I was so afraid she was going to take me outside in February.
Sarah has been taking you outdoors here and there during the winter, which is good for you, Jen. It's good to get out of the house. The whole point of doing these adventures is to get you out of the house.
Absolutely. Well, I did. I went to the strategy games to learn. We didn't just do it in the living room because they said the point is to get out of the house. So she said, you know what, we'll go in so I could actually see the store and stuff, because it was through an associate of ours. It's just weird how life works. Is someone says, I need help with this because this thing might close down, and I'm like, I have zero desire, because I always see these things that come up, and I'm like, but Sarah and Adam would be amazing.
So you and Adam have now taken over running the store?
Just doing the management. So we're there a couple of days a week.
Okay.
And we really love board games. So if people are coming looking for board game recommendations, right now Mondays and Tuesdays are your day to go into the store, because
and we've been talking mostly about chess, but you have the full gamut of board games we're talking about here, right?
So we have all of the board games, but also their logic puzzles. They also cover poker and bridge. You have the classic games like Go and Cribbage.
Cribbage.
And
I love
Dominoes. There's quite a variety there.
Settlers of Catan.
Yes, lots of expansions.
All of them.
Like, my goodness, How many of those can you make? There's a ton of them now. I want to get back to chess for just a moment because Sarah, would you say it's also one of those games where it's sort of easy to get into? It may be difficult to perfect because, we talk about the Queen's Gambit and, I forget his name now, but, played against the computer. And I think that might have been like what Jen and I were feeling.
Bobby Foster or something.
Yeah. Well, and just the intimidation factor, right? Is you see these people playing, and, they've got the timer and everything. I'm like, I can't do that. But it is an easy game to understand.
It is.
Right?
It's one of those things that it's easy to learn, very, very, very difficult to master.
Okay.
And I certainly am not great at chess. I love chess. It's fun to play. I'm pretty sure within a couple of months my 4-year-old will be able to beat me. Like I enjoy
He's
it.
so smart. He's so smart.
But
don't they divide it like when they have tournaments and stuff by level? I learned that.
Yes.
So like you could have like old lady really not good at it, and I could go against another old lady really not good at it, and then we could have a game.
Yeah. See, you and I think can play.
Yeah, and
I don't want to play with a 4-year-old.
Yeah, if I lose to you, I at least have a little dignity left, right? Like if I lose to kids, I'm like, I'm an idiot.
It's a good point. It's a good point. And you're teaching classes too, is that right?
Yes, so we go out into the schools. The whole point of the Chess and Math Association, it's been around for longer than I've been alive.
Okay.
And the whole entire point is to get kids playing chess. So there are classes within the schools right now. We also have a March break camp coming up, and then there'll be summer camps as well. And we're also going to try to run some evening classes for homeschoolers, and maybe even some drop-ins at the store. We cleared out the basement space for events, so I'm super excited
I was going to ask you about that. So yeah, because Jen said, she went to the store to learn and to play. So eventually you'd like to have it where, hey, Mondays is chess night and Tuesdays is strategy night.
Is
that the sort of idea?
That was the first thing I did when I got in there, is clear out everything from the basement that had sort of become a storage area over COVID, and now we're getting tables and chairs in there and ready to start hosting game nights.
I'm taking over the talk show role. I just want to
okay.
know, like the chess camp, like the kids just play chess 8 hours a day or what? Like, what's going on there?
Well, you know what? If there's a kid who's really keen on chess, you sit at that chessboard all day and I'm not going to stop you. But we'll be running, lessons and drills and little mini tournaments. But then also we're going to bring a selection of board games. We have access to the gym for part of the day some days.
Nice.
I'll bring some crafts. So it's not just sitting around playing chess for 8 hours.
I think Jen wants to register is what she's talking about.
I want to tell the kids, do you know about the rook? I definitely want to know.
You just want an adult camp. I've talked about that before. Like, why is it always the kids that get to have all the camps and all the fun?
That's how comedy camp started for women. I did it for the kids, and the mom said, could we do this? And I said, please, I don't want to do it with the kids. And the kids were funny, but like all day with kids, that's a talent I don't have.
Yeah.
Like,
I was a camp counselor. Listen, I think you'd enjoy it. You'd have a lot of fun. You can catch them at strategygames.ca and visit them down at 250 Bank Street. We'll be back with more right after this.
This is a brain in urgent need of mental health care. But because 3 out of every 4 Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare, she may not get the help she needs. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
I was born and raised in Musqueam First Nation territory by my mother, who spoke Hunkaminam to me. As a child, I ceased using my mother tongue, as to use any language other than English was considered not being Canadian, so I was told. The old people came to me in a dream and reminded me of who I am and where I come from. I have reawakened. My roots are strong, and I'm no longer a silent speaker. My language tells me where I'm from. It defines me and guides me to teach others to learn and understand our culture and traditions. A gift for those in the present and the unborn generations. What was lost is found. What was asleep has awakened. My blood is here, and I am complete. I have returned home.
Hi, I'm Sam LaPrade. I'd like to invite you to watch An Hour to Give this week. It's all about Voice Found, which focuses on human trafficking and childhood sexual abuse. Join us.
Welcome back to Daytime Ottawa. Broadway across Canada is bringing another fantastic production to the NAC. It's running from February 22nd to March the 3rd, and it is Disney's Frozen. So something for all of us to enjoy, entire families. I am so excited to talk to my next guest because he plays one of the lead roles, and that is Kristoff. I am joined by Dominic Dorset. Dominic, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm doing great. As I said just off camera to you, my wife and I see every production that comes through Broadway across Canada, and excited for this one. And I'm sure there's, hundreds and hundreds of families excited to have you guys come in. Let's first of all talk a little bit about the storyline. Certainly, I know a lot of viewers are probably familiar with the storyline, but if it happens that there's a few out there that aren't familiar with this story, tell us a little bit about Disney's Frozen.
Of course. Well, if you are one of the 10 people in the universe that have never seen the Frozen movie, it is essentially the story of these two sisters, Elsa and Anna, who basically just grow up without each other because there are some divisions that just play some apart. And it's their story and their journey about trying to find how to be with one another. And it really centers love, and love between familial units, love between sisters, love between friendships. And it's just a really beautiful story that everybody leaves the theater enjoying at the end of the day.
Dominic, does it differ at all from the storyline at all from the original film?
It is pretty much the same. It's very similar, but I will add that there are a dozen new songs that the writers have written for the stage production that were not in the original movie. So the movie is obviously a musical, but this Broadway stage adaptation has way more songs than the movie did, and some that are just as spectacular, in my opinion.
Nice. I mentioned you play one of the lead roles, Kristoff. Tell me a little bit about your role. How would you describe your character?
Yeah, Kristoff's a cool guy. He is an ice merchant, so he sells ice. He's kind of like a wilderness mountain man a little bit, and so it makes it really unlikely for him and Princess Anna to cross paths and form the relationship that they do. And then he has a sidekick, best friend, reindeer. That's right, a reindeer, like the animal, and it's this funny thing, and it's this reindeer on stage is a beautiful giant puppet designed by a guy named Michael Curry. If anyone's familiar with The Lion King, it's the same designer who did all the puppets in that musical. So it's just a really cool guy. Got some fun friendships and some unlikely relationships with Princess Anna too.
Tell me a little bit about interacting with Sven the reindeer. That must be pretty special, pretty cool for you.
It is my favorite part of what I do. It is my favorite part of the show. It is a relationship, like I said, that is unique to Kristoff, so nobody else really gets anything a part of that. And one of my favorite memories from this Frozen process so far is when I had my first rehearsal with Sven in a studio, because I just felt like a kid at Disney World. It was amazing to interact with this thing, and then to get to do it every night is just really a blessing.
No kidding. How did you come by your role? Tell me about that process.
So I graduated from school in May of 2022, and about a month later, my agent told me that the Frozen was looking for a Kristoff. There had been an opening because the former actor had finished his contract, so they were looking to hire somebody new. And I just kind of sent my name in. I sent a videotape audition of me singing some songs and doing some scenes from the show. Got some callbacks and worked with the director via Zoom, and kind of got the role after a few rounds of auditions.
What about touring? Tell me about that experience. I mean, this must be, it's a big cast. I imagine behind the scenes, it's a huge crew as well. You told me you just arrived in Ottawa, I believe, last night. Well, what's it been like touring?
I love it. I really, really love it. I love seeing the country. I love seeing other countries. I guess this is my personal first stop outside of the United States. with the show. And so I'm very much looking forward to getting to see all the local sites, meeting all the people from the area, and I really just enjoy seeing everywhere and experiencing all these different cities.
We're just seeing some of the great images. Tell me a little bit about the special effects and the costuming involved in this production, Dominic.
Oh my gosh, it is going to blow your mind. It is nothing that I say right now can really fully encapsulate what people will see on stage when they come see the show. But all I can tell you is that this is a Broadway musical, right? So it's got the top-notch special effects, top-notch costumes, lighting design, everything that you could imagine. All these things that you're going to see happen, and you're going to wonder how did they make that happen? It just, there's no way to comprehend and wrap your mind around it. But it's really mind-blowing, the things that they do on the stage.
Tell me about audience response so far during the tour. What's the audience response been like for you?
I mean, people love the show. It's for everybody. This is something that we like to articulate a lot, is that, people will sometimes see that Frozen's coming to town, and so they'll think, if I don't have kids, I can't come see the show. And that's just, it's not true, because Frozen is a musical that everybody can enjoy. It's for families. It's for date nights. It's for friends, group outings. So it's for everybody. Everybody really enjoys the show. On a personal note, I really love walking to the theater into the stage door and seeing like all the different people wearing their costumes. We see a lot of Elsa dresses and Anna dresses, and just people who are really, really excited to see this show.
You're a triple threat, right? You're acting, you're dancing, you're singing. I mean, when you're on the road, do you work out? Like, do you have to stay in shape? Like, tell me the importance of looking after yourself.
It's extremely important. I mean, we do 8 shows a week, and it's pretty physically and vocally demanding and mentally demanding, I'll add at that. So I do like to work out during the days and whatnot and try to, be responsible with my voice. But the 2 biggest things for me are sleep. I try and get at least 8.5 hours of sleep every night, and then water is the second thing. Drink lots and lots of water, and I think no matter who you talk to in the Broadway community, they will agree that those are the 2 most important things in order to be able to do your job every day.
Well, we're so excited to have you. As I said, my wife and I, we've been to practically every Broadway across Canada production, and this one I know not only are we looking forward to it, but the rest of us here in the city are looking forward to it. So I really appreciate you spending some time with us today, Dominic. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thanks for having me. All
right, enjoy your time here in Ottawa, and grab a beaver tail if you can. You're not far from a beaver tail, all right?
Good to know. Thank you.
Delicious, tasty treat. I want to remind everybody, Broadway Across Canada presents Disney's Frozen. Again, it kicks off on Thursday, February 22nd this week. It runs all the way until March the 3rd. You can get your tickets online at ottawa.broadway.com, or, of course, you can visit the NAC's website as well. We'll be back with more right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Was that 4 or 5? He's lost count and still thinks he can drive. Do you think he knows that when he is caught and charged with impaired driving, he'll lose his license and a lot more? If he gets in his car, he'll face costs exceeding $20,000. Does he realize he could have a criminal record for his choice to drive? And it could be much worse if he crashes. I wonder what he'll be thinking tomorrow.
Have a hold on one at 15.
Visit arrivealive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
OHL on Rogers TV.
These days at your local Legion, we're marching to the beat of a different drum. On a mission to support veterans, to have fun, and to welcome everyone to our ranks. You don't have to be a veteran to join the Legion. And as a member, you'll join thousands of others serving our veterans, our communities, and our country. Oh yeah, and our Member Perks program will save you thousands on shopping, dining, products, and services across the country. Join us at legion.ca.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
Join us for the new season of Ottawa Storytellers, right here on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. Well, dads and daughters, you should be sitting by your phone on February 28th at 9:30 a.m. because that's when the tickets go on sale to this wonderful father-daughter ball. It's the Tiny Hoppers father-daughter ball. Here to tell us more about it is Brigida Aversa. She is the owner of Tiny Hoppers and the committee chair. Welcome. Great to have you here.
Thank you so much for having us, Derek.
It's a pleasure. First of all, let's talk a little bit about Tiny Hoppers off the top and tell us, for those that aren't familiar about what all the great stuff you do there.
So Tiny Hoppers is a daycare. We started in 2005. We actually started in Ottawa in the community of Riverside South, and now we have 21 locations in Ontario. Amazing. We have 8 locations in British Columbia, 4 in Alberta, and 2 in Saudi Arabia.
What a great success story. What is the secret to success? What makes you stand out from other daycares?
Well, we offer a high quality daycare, and we started franchising. Most of our owners are women. I would say 99% of our owners are women.
Okay. Yeah. This is something that you're really passionate about, this particular gala that you're putting on, the ball. Tell me about the inspiration behind it.
So in 2011, my business partner Teresa and I, we wanted to host a unique event, but at the same time do something that would give back to our community and raise money for a local charity. So we both have fabulous husbands, and at that time very young daughters.
Okay.
My daughter was 1.5, Teresa's daughter was 4. And we thought, why don't we host a father-daughter ball? And that's how it started.
That's amazing. I love that. And I mean, and each and every time you sort of theme it, right? You change things up a little bit to make sure it's unique from the last one. What's your theme this year and why?
So this year was Barbie for obvious reasons.
I don't even have to ask why.
You don't even have to ask
film.
why. Yeah, exactly. For obvious reasons. Last year it was Taylor Swift.
Right. The Swiftie version of it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So then, because you have these themes, do you encourage then dads and daughters to dress up and have some fun with it?
We just say dress fabulous.
Okay.
So however they want to dress is how they come. This year, I'm assuming everybody is going to be in different shades of pink.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get the details out. So what can people expect at this year's ball?
So it is Sunday, June 2nd. The tickets are $100 per person.
Okay.
The event itself is just pure magic.
Yeah.
So you walk into the event, we have a red carpet. Then the girls are greeted with a frogatini, which is fruit punch. It's just fruit punch.
That's great.
And a cookie, and then they get to sit down to a delicious 3-course meal. We dance the night away. We have a local girl band from the Pop Shop All-Stars.
Oh, they're fantastic. Yeah.
So my daughter actually is a part of them, but she still wants to just come with Dad this year.
Nice.
She's not going to sing. She wants to be with Dad still. And so they're going to perform, and then we will have princesses come and do a meet and greet with the little girls, and then we will also have a candy, cookie, cupcake bar. We will give swag bags to the girl as they're leaving. And then probably the most emotional part of the event is the dads get to write a wish to their daughter. And we put it onto a biodegradable balloon, and as they're leaving, everybody gets to release their wish.
Wow.
It's
That's
absolutely
magical.
beautiful. It's magical. I mean, we've been doing this for so many years now, and that is the part that gets me every single year.
I can imagine. And I mean, just seeing the dads and the daughters and dancing together, I mean, that must just warm your heart. I mean, it just must be amazing to watch, right?
Absolutely. I have to say, my husband this year, I mean, my daughter's 13, going to be 14, and, he thought, how many more years do I have left of this? Even, last year, and she said, I don't want to ever miss this. It's the one night that, they get to spend together.
Yeah, just the two of them.
Just the
right?
two of them.
Yeah. You mentioned, February 28th, tickets go on sale 9:30 a.m. sharp. I'm guessing that's because, like, this must sell out, what, in an hour? Like,
no. I would say less than 20 minutes,
really?
For sure. Yes,
wow.
Absolutely. You have to be by your phone. You have to be organized. You have to make sure that, there's 5 people calling for your whole group. Try to get your group together before you even call.
This is more difficult than getting swimming classes and registration with the city of Ottawa.
Absolutely.
I want to mention too the charity side of things. That's very important as well to you. And who have you chosen as far as charities?
Make-A-Wish. So we've always had Make-A-Wish that benefits from this event. For obvious reasons, of course. You know, they're such a wonderful organization. They give back to the community. It's great to see the money stay in the community as well.
Yeah. How much have you raised so far? Do you know that number?
Absolutely. We are upwards of about $140,000 that we've raised for Make-A-Wish.
Do you have a goal for this year? Do you ever make a goal?
We always have. You know what? If we could raise $15,000 this year, we will be happy. And there's no doubt in my mind we're going to be able to do it.
And the only way to reserve a ticket is by phone call?
That's right.
Is that right?
You have to call. You have to call next Wednesday.
Okay, excellent. Brigida, thank you so much for this. Really
appreciate it. Thank you so much for having
I'll see you in
me.
a couple of weeks as well, right? We'll be getting together for that other charity event, which we'll tell you about, by the way, coming up this Friday, another fabulous charity event that I'm involved with, and I'll be emceeing again this year. The Tiny Hoppers Father and Daughter Ball, that's Preston Event Center, by the way, June 2nd, 4 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And you can call them 613-883-9225, February 28th at 9:30 a.m. Thank you so much.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Watch Podium exclusively on Rogers TV.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
Welcome back to the show. All right, let's go over a couple of things that we talked about on today's show. I want to start with Broadway across Canada's Disney's Frozen. You saw some of the footage earlier today. We had a great conversation with Dominic, who playing the role of Kristoff. Just a great storyline, and the music. They've added a whole bunch of new songs, as Dominic said. So you'll hear all those songs that you love from the original movie, but they've got a whole bunch of brand new ones. That kicks off, by the way, this Thursday, February 22nd. It runs for 2 weeks until March the 3rd, and you can visit ottawa.broadway.com, or of course you can visit the NAC's website as well. Really looking forward to that one. And again, Tiny Hopper's Father-Daughter Ball. It's not happening until the summer, so June 2nd. It's from 4 p.m. to 8:30 p.m., but you must get your tickets February 28th. They go on sale at 9:30 a.m. You have to call them at 613-883-9225. So make sure you wrote that number down so you can get your tickets, because as she said, it'll sell out in about 20 minutes. Thanks so much for watching this edition of Daytime, and we'll see you next time.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
unscripted, uninterrupted coverage of events by Canada's business leaders, visionaries, and social figures. Watch Podium exclusively on Rogers TV.
And roasted the most perfectly golden brown marshmallow you'd ever seen. And the crowd